These were some of the best highlights from the 2024 LEC Upper Round 1 matchup between G2 and KC.
There as well, so Yike's on his way.
He's looking for it.
Big wave.
It's a very big wave. Even if you can just force him away from it, you can deny so much of that experience. Uses the Drunken Rage. Broken Blade looking for that Ruthless Predator. Gets the enhanced stun into the flash stun from Yike. Karna is burning and Broken Blade's on his way to pick up the kill. Flashes forward, 2 flashes for the kill, but G2 denies so much under this tower.
Real nice by G2. They did have to both blow flash, but
That's completely fine, right? You're perfectly fine managing that. You're kind of waiting for, like, as Joanna said earlier, 1 or 2 items is perfectly fine, and then you can start looking for these fights. And you also have great pick potential, right? Sejuani ultimate really good. Gragas is great at splitting up his opposition. He holds the wave. Broken Blade ends up getting tower aggro, and he even tried to knock Broken Blade back underneath the tower. Sejuani ult over the wall.
Goes in, lands on Caps, follows up with the face seal. Caps has to flash away, jumps the wall, Ignite ticks though. And Karna takes the kill in the end.
we've seen the setup the entire time, right? Throughout this early game, Close has been hovering over that Raptor wall so much, and eventually Caps does get punished for it. Very hard to react.
As you say, Betty, I think 30 seconds, the Hextech Drake, probably the next point of contest between these two teams.
The problem is G2 have just reset, but Close is pathing up towards top, so neither team really in a great position right now to contest for it.
I'll say having about a minute's leeway before you decide to play around one of these neutral objectives can be okay in certain situations, Betty.
Well, I'm very strict, okay?
Yeah.
30 seconds before is when you should be setting up for the objective minute.
Sure.
Mainly because you have to think about the time lag between the grubs dying and the dragon spawning.
Oh, Fate Seal once again onto Cap, still has no flash. The Glacial Prison will be exactly that, sent back to jail as Caps spends 30 seconds in the fountain, and now Karmine Corp have open season on their second Drake of the game. We said they wanted to keep this gold within 2K. Well, they've managed to shrink that gold deficit a little bit and get their second.
He finds himself at a small deficit. This Yone is going to become a menace in the side lane later on and is a core part of the dive comp that KC has.
Knows where his bread is going to be buttered for the next 5 or 10 minutes before Upset comes online with this Kai'Sa. Cross map was happening whilst we were talking about that for G2, but now Broken Blade is in trouble.
That was going to happen. Targamas tanking up the tower. Broken Blade will fall. Targamas survives with a sliver. And Caps' TP was stopped with an explosive cask in the top lane. He wasn't able to join Broken Blade down in this bottom side.
Yeah, I was worried that KC would...
Because a few moments ago, 5 minutes ago, we were saying if they can keep the gold lead at only about 2K, it's actually paying off for them. Here, they managed to stop G2 from getting 6 grubs, get 2 Drakes, and keep that gold deficit at only about 2.5K.
I think absolutely, especially when you consider the fact that they've got 2 dragons. So, like Vedi mentioned earlier, if they don't feel like they can fight this next dragon, just give it up. Go cross-map the top side, get some more gold.
That's true.
Everything feels just about okay for KC.
I mean,
they want to fight though, they can.
There's still the hurdle. Oh, Yike in some serious
Yike
trouble.
has the flash, has to use it. Magnet Storm is coming in, but Targamas. And now that brand much less mobile than he was.
They've stuck to the game plan, they've been able to execute upon it. But now becomes the important part. Can they pull off a fight?
TP behind. Karna's all the way back in the jungle here, now moving past the red buff. G2 have started up the dragon. It's stolen away by Closer. They're 1 away from Soul Point. Fate Seal going in as well, and G2 are falling by their numbers. Mickey has to flash away. Cap's going to be able to kill off Targamas. Will he escape? He jumps across the wall. Han Summer is riding Shelly out, but Mickey is left alone, stuck with the bill, as Karmine Corp pull off the heist, get 2 kills, and get the hell out of there.
All right, Karmine Corp, 3rd dragon, everything they
KC over the last 19 minutes or so.
Gotta remember, of course, KC are the massive underdogs in this series, but G2 hold on to the gold lead for now, and this brand is still very strong. Caps, though.
Vladdy. Soul Unbound has to flash. Mickey looking for the Solar Flare, and Caps just jumped in. I've been told there were so many votes coming in, actually, that our software crashed for a second, so we'll get the votes back in for the next game. Apologies for that. But perhaps now that you see G2 pick up a kill in the side lane, the votes would have switched back anyway.
But, I mean, the big difference here, Caps, he was very close to getting caught on a side lane, but he had the support of his jungle and support this time round. Something that KC's done very well this game is offer that assistance for Vladdy, and this time round, Caps was able to get that assistance himself. Nice punish from the side of G2, And just like that, they turn the gold lead back slightly in their favor. You've got to contest that mid wave though, and it's G2 that's first towards it. Upset ready to catch the wave, but this means that G2 can guarantee numbers advantage and walk their way into the river.
And that's exactly what they're going to do. There's no weird flank angle from Karna this time either. It's all full frontal from KC. So G2 have a little bit less to worry about in that regard. They know where everyone is, but they need to keep a track on Targum as he's slipping off to the side.
Look at Closer. His ultimate's going to be crucial to kick off this fight.
Upset's poke as well can be pretty impactful. If you can land those Void Seekers, there's no Warmogs yet on G2, so they're not going to be able to heal up through that poke.
Here we go.
The Drake has been started, down to 10k. Karna on the front line, G2 as a 5 pushing forward. No vision in that bush for Vladdy. Clears out one ward, 8,000 now on the Drake. But where's Targa? Spotted on the control ward. He tries to sneak in the side. Vladdy down towards the bottom side of the fight. Targamas has walked his way all the way across here. And Karna goes in first. And someone Yank able to get away. The solar flare is gorgeous! A solar flare around an infernal Drake. What serendipity for G2!
A massive team fight for G2. The idea was so good from KC. The initiation from Closer, the angle that he found. But they couldn't quite lock down Caps and Hansama. That resulted in them grouping up for a huge solar flare to come out from Mickey. And then the ultimate from Yike just did so much damage. That's going to be a one-team fight. The Soul will be denied. The Baron will be secured. A tower as well.
The gold lead looms towards that 7,000 mark. KC held on for dear life in this game, and for a few moments it looked like they were going to get back into it. Caps now flanking Vladdy, and Vladdy does have flash, fate sealed, misses, flashes the wall. Caps jumps forward once again. Closer coming in. Glacial Prism, is it enough to kill off Caps? Vladdy dashes back and Caps will fall. Karmine Corp reacting on the side lane well, but Karna did invest his TP, and that means Karmine Corp are undermanned in the top side.
I mean, it's a good kill from the side of KC, but as you rightly said, objective lost on the top side of the map. I guess you could make the argument that Karna is such a monstrous front line to have to get through. KC is going to need a miracle team fight to swing this game around.
They're going to need something like that third dragon fight again. And it's going to have to be onto Hans and Caps. And once Yike has flash in a few minutes time as well, I mean, he's got that Banshees. It effectively helped him make that last play.
Karmine Corp don't have any range to defend this tower right now. You can see how far back Vladdy's having to stand. Upset only just finishing his recall right now, so the tier 3 in the bot lane gone. G2 with the push on the Baron, about 2,000 gold off the power play. Still have 40 seconds on it. Caps has a mid wave, but no Baron buff on him remaining, because of course he died in the bottom lane a little bit earlier on, but Tristana doesn't really need Baron to help her take these turrets. G2 continue to do this 1-4 split. Caps hovering over towards the top side. Vladdy there to try and answer. Targamas looking for the flank as well, and Caps jumps away from Vladdy. It's a blast cone. Gets himself to safety, and that will be the push called off for G2. So they get it. Karmine Corp almost need to find a split fight or an explosive cast to split the fight up and then find a couple of picks off that, rather than just going all in and pressing their R's on the same target, or just try and win out in a side lane. Vladdy's going to jump back. Caps jumping forward, flashes away from the Q3 and takes the kill. Akana's here to try and stop the party, and Caps is dodging everything. In the end, it's the Thorn Mail that kills him. Stop hitting yourself, Caps. Stop hitting yourself.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that...
Realistically, G2 want to try and set themselves up to do this ASAP with the vision control they've got. They really want to suck KC in to a fight, or maybe wait for Caps. But the problem is, Caps might get 2v1.
Broken Blade stuns Targamas, who crashes down. Chain of Corruption's gone down as well, and Targamas is very slow now. Tries to flash out of vision, and Summer with the fast side alteration will spot him out. And G2 pick up the kill. Caps backed away in the bot lane as Karna and Vladdy were looking for him. And now G2 with a man advantage can just turn their eyes back towards the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, getting rid of one of the primary engages of KC means that it's now that much harder for KC to really contest this objective. As long as Closer is alive, there's always going to be a chance. Let's see if they can pull it off.
Targa is back up.
Okay, and Caps, though, he's going to use this window to secure another tower. Should be able to get it with the bomb, and that they will. Now back on the Baron. TP still available for Caps, but...
Look at how quickly that melts, and they don't have vision right now. Targamas needs to get across. They put in a barrel. Targamas has a control ward. Will it be too late? Gets there in time. 4,000 on it. G2 start to back away. Broken Blade dashing in. Glacial Prison hits him, but he's really tanky right now. And on the front line, Closer is deleted. Mickey looks for the solar play, hits Vladdy, who unbinds his soul, but perhaps shortly will have to unbind his monitor as he did at the start of the game. Not sent back to the fountain yet. Now he's down. G2 get another. Caps dashes in. Yike flashing forward as well as Kana is running to try and find some escape, but there's just none from G2. Hans is pushing mid. Upset and Kana on the wrong side of the map. Upset! He goes for Caps! He gets him! Upset finds a small window of light perhaps for Karmine Corp. Broken Blade there though still as Kana tries to beat him off. Hans Summer coming across from the side to collapse. Kana will fall. G2 win out the fight, not as cleanly as they'd like.
They're kind of keeping it closed, and just overall the discipline throughout that Baron dance as Kana slowly gets run down in the replay. Behind the picture-in-picture, G2 getting a third dragon. That's 3 Infernals, and KC, you're on the Baron.
Start on the Baron. Hans Summer has to work his way through mid lane to get here. He's already down to 2,000. OPLoLReplay hits on the backline. Will close it, get the smite. He will. But can Karmine Corp get out of the fight? Kana's already found 1 is 2. Already for KC. Closes ticking and won't survive. Leandres burns him down, but Karmine Corp still have 4. Upset looking for more. Snipes out Broken Blade. Caps will find 1 off towards the top side. It's Vladdy who falls. Kana and Upset. Are you going to shepherd Targamas out? You can't. Only 2 Barons remain, but Karmine Corp still clinging on in this game. The TP behind as Caps looks for the inhibitor. Recalls have come out from Kana and Upset. Upset will get back. Kana won't. Caps just going to go for the base. Might be double in here. Might be the base.
No.
Only Upset stands in his way.
Oh, Caps! He's gone!
Caps finds the kill onto Upset.
And then tanks the tower for a year and is going to die.
He gets it out! The thought!
Bomber.
Goodness
If that's
me.
not Caps, I'm dead.
Yeah, sounds it.
Karmine Corp though.
Oh,
Group up.
Mickey.
Mickey
Flashed
done
onto
with the
there.
shield of Daybreak. Kana going forward once again. Broken Blade looking for the flank. Upset trying to put the damage down. Magnus Storm in. Hans Summer has to flash away, but Kana's there for the chase. And Kana gets the shutdown. OPLoLReplay on the backline. Targamas is low. Upset is 2. And now Caps joins the party. Base sealed onto him, but he still has a GA to live to fight another day. It will be popped. Kana in the middle of 3 will fall. Pings going down. Broken Blade has TP. Super Minions push friend. In the end, I don't think G2 can win the game here. 30 seconds on Upset,
can.
25 on Closer.
They could. Vladdy doesn't have armor. I mean, they don't really have wave clear. They can't get rid of the wave.
It's true. Targamas goes forward, looking for the Shadowing Strike. Can't find it.
hit
Hit respawns. They can't. They can't take it yet. Targamas will fall, though. The GA popped onto Vladdy. Can he escape for long enough? The answer's no. A Ruthless stun from the Ruthless Predator. Broken Blade. 7 seconds on Upset. No minion wave for G2, though.
Inhibs, I guess, is going to have to be the price for now. Upset's up. Kana's up in 5. Can they get all 3? They're looking for the end.
Upset goes in, Upset dashes forward, Caps jumps away, Yike pops the stopwatch, but will he go pop immediately after? In fact, he still has the flash. Kana now joining the party. Had a sip in the fountain and now is looking to unleash his drunken rage.
Is the game really
On
not
G2,
over yet?
I guess not.
Well, Caps is going to take triple inhibs.
Oh,
G2
Yike died!
Getting everything
Yike
they can.
did die.
Yike died.
That's 60-second death timer.
But you got no inhibs ready.
The Baron is up, no jungler. I don't know if Closer can get in range.
Oh.
He's making a run for it.
Caps is going to try and act as a bodyguard. Side. Kana has the explosive caskets flash about to come back off cooldown. Caps pushing forward. Closer goes in. Glacial Prison. Oh, that was a gnat's whisker away from hitting the back of Caps. The Nexus Tower down to almost half. Bait sealed in. Caps gets the buster shot back and Upset jumps in! And Upset kills off Caps, but the inhibitor, the Nexus Tower is almost fallen. Magnus Storm forward, OPLoLReplay. The Nexus Tower goes down, but will G2 go down alongside it? Broken Blade does so much work as he kills off Upset. Now it's Mickey Yike and Broken Blade trying to close out the game. Can Karmine Corp hold on? Is the blue wall high enough? Or have G2 bought a battering ram to just smash it to the ground? G2 on the Nexus, Broken Blade on the Nexus as G2 take game 1.
A crazy end. But, you know, overall, it's still fine. Gives you a lot of agency in the bot lane 2 versus 2. Also, you have a lot of independency, I should say, as Xayah, just thanks to his way towards mid lane. Caps.
Caught out by Vladdy. There's the stun as well with the permafrost, and Caps is just dead. Karmine Corp on the board 3 minutes in.
Great timing from Closer. I mean, a little bit
It's
fortunate
very
that
difficult for KC to find any kind of cross map in this situation. The previous game, the moment the group started, they had a ward on it so they could cross map, but unfortunately for Closer, he had to go back to base, right? Because that little scuffle in the mid lane.
They are trying to find this top angle. Broken Blade doesn't have Dominus. Karna's running out of Mega Knight, though. They've got to pull the trigger now.
Wallop goes wide, so does the house. Closer going in, Broken Blade. Stunned up with the permafrost, Karna goes into Mini Gnar. Tank the tower relatively well with a True Shot Barrage. Is that enough damage on Closer to stop them? Closer tanks the tower, Broken Blade flashes, Vladdy goes in with the Fate Sealed as well. Broken Blade still surviving, but in the end, Karna chucks the boomerang into his back and takes the kill.
Honestly, you got to feel a little bit for Broken Blade. Barely got anything out of it besides the ultimates, but does a good job.
Closes down.
And I guess he buys so much time that the guy gets the sweep up, so never mind, you take it back.
I mean, that was a bad back from probably League of Legends Esports.
Big flip-flopper, that guy.
So you know that he is perma-spamming both in the chat?
Yeah, 100%.
Because he's playing both sides.
You guys can tag him at RazLol is his Twitch. Just tag him.
Yeah.
Might be in the chat,
Sure, he's
might
watching.
not. A grub fight beginning here as Yike lands the smite. Locked up though for the second with the Glacial Prison. Vladdy dashing in, Mickey there for the follow-up. Zenith Blade, Solar Flare for the stun, but a great Glacial Fissure from Targamas will keep G2 at bay. And now Vladdy turns his attentions over to Mickey. Broken Blade low. Does have that cold Meek. The Strangled Thorns down. Karna yeets Broken Blade against the wall, but pays for it with his life. Unable to escape the plants.
An incredibly tense fight. It ends up being only a single kill. Vladdy, ooh, nice flash from Caps. Vladdy finding a good opportunity there.
In a project like KC, but also for a player like Vladdy, to come in under such stressful circumstances like you mentioned, to give him the freedom of play on something like
That's
EONA against
point.
G2.
And they've done a great job of playing around him, right? All the fights that have happened have been in mid lane. Supports, junglers, mid laners, they're the primary people involved in a lot of these skirmishes. And so far, they've been going toe-to-toe. A gold lead ever so slightly in favor of G2, but nothing too significant as G2 will secure the first tower of the game.
Vladdy gets slowed.
Yeah.
Jumps away from the Zenith Blade.
Crossmap's still happening though. I think KC are okay with this at the end of the day, though it's 600 gold into Hans Sama's back pocket. And into a composition like KC where there's so much dive, Xayah getting further and further ahead. It's gonna feel a little bit rough, but
it's also jungle camps, right? Like, Closer was able to take the Rift Toad, and that's great, but you didn't get pressure on top tower, you weren't pressuring mid tower, you're losing your bot side jungle camps. Closer's now gonna go in and steal away a Razorbeak, but we'll see if the Grand Exchange is enough. Broken Blade is low in top lane, so maybe Closer will make a visit up there relatively soon.
I mean, Yike has been having a fantastic series. His awareness this game of what he can and can't do on the map has just been spectacular. And he's just been dealing with...
Do you know what en passant is?
I do, actually.
Nice.
What's that? No, I'm kidding.
Just Google it, mate.
Alright, I will.
Pressure from G2 up towards the top side. They force Vladdy a little bit low. Caps trading with him once again. Vladdy using that shield, dashing in, flashed away by Caps. Meanwhile, towards the bottom side, Closer's locked up in the Stranglethorns. Targamas puts the Unbreakable down as Upset tries to join the party, and Closer's locked up once again. Yike takes him. Leandry's burning up. Upset. Oh, he puts Targamas back. A worthy sacrifice. Targamas falls on his sword as Upset gets away.
I mean, there's a world where Targamas could have maybe flashed, but Upset just kind of looked him in the eyes and said, "I'm sorry," as he propelled it into G2. That's 2 extra kills gained for G2. The thing that was crazy to me was both supports were just tanking so much in that fight. Now, the TP flank.
They see it.
Vladdy has flash, but he doesn't have Fate Sealed. Karna's looking for the flank, but he's only got about 1/10 of a bar.
Is Mini Gnar that threatening?
He's trying to build it up, but
No, he is not.
Okay.
So Yike did a pretty clever thing there where he spawned plants in the direction
Yes.
that Vladdy was traveling in, and then he just said, "You deal with those." Lands the root onto Karna.
Yike no flash. There's the Gnar into the wall. Mickey flashing with the Zenith Blade. Yike will fall here, but it's Mickey that Targamas, that gets the shutdown. Caps kills off Karna. Meanwhile, Upset just got 1v1 by Hans Summer. Closer trying to get away as well. As Hans Summer starts to open up on this Xayah. Now he's on the wrong side of the rift. Closer has to flash. Can Vladdy chase?
yes.
Vladdy has ult.
The answer is yes. Flash ult, he's dead. Okay, shut down over to Vladdy.
But you could look at it from the perspective of Hans.
The bounty was collected by Targamas in the last fight. He's building his way up towards a Warmox, but still quite a way away from it. Upset starting to chip away at this top lane tier 1. Targamas locked up. Glacial Fissure coming down as well, but only Closer there to protect. Karna looking for the flank. Does have the Mega Gnar building up. Targamas still alive. Hans Summer coming in from the side. The Gnar into the wall as Caps is locked up. True Shot Barrage coming out, but Caps will go down. But there goes 2 in response. For a moment it looked bright for Karmine Corp, but G2 put out the lights. Vladdy dashes forward. Gets the double knockup with the Mortal Steel. Dash is back, still stunned, no flash for him, but he has that Mortal Steel Q3 to jump over the wall. Mickey's still chasing, and with the tier 2 standing there, he calls off the pursuit.
I was about to for KC to deal with.
And not to be a negative Nancy, it's great that they ended up finding Caps. Caps not the strong one on G2, man. Like, it really does feel like if you're not finding Yike or you're not finding Hans, the extended fight right now is going to suck. And even as I say that, Caps now has hit 2 items. So, again, you're kind of picking your poison on who you're actually finding. I feel like
In game 1, I think the advantage of the Rel was that it was just a secondary engage that could either start the fights or just follow up from the original Sejuani.
really fast. There's a really good window for them to do it. They've got an IM advantage. Well, they had it in the jungle role. They still got it in mid lane. But they want to utilize this lead to just continue to break down structures with the 5 grubs.
How quickly they take down these towers as well. Double AD carry. Caps takes a bit of damage. Kana looking for the flank, but Broken Blade marking him well. Kana will be able to put some damage into the back of the Croc, but nothing too consequential as he was building up that Mega Gnar bar. The tier 2 in the mid lane falls. G2 get there.
And it then sets them up nicely for a potential Baron contest, or maybe even just a commitment onto this tier 2.
Overall's a strong option.
Solar Flare used. Unbreakable does come out from Targamas. TP behind, counter TP immediately from Broken Blade. Glacial Prison, popped by Karmine Corp. Enemies get the stun on anyone. Kana marked by Broken Blade. The dash in from Vladdy. The knockback with the Nav. Is it enough? Featherstorm comes out from Hans Summer as Kana is now isolated on the backline of G2. They peel well enough to kill off the Gnar, and now perhaps will turn their eyes towards the Baron.
I feel like we're continuing to see the consequences of
The likes of KC were immediately retreating. Though KC looking for the fight.
Look for the steal here. Vladdy has no Fate Steal, goes in with a Soul Unbound. Caps has to flash across the back of the wall. Closer trying to get in. Mickey there with a Shield of Daybreak stun in time. Mickey sacrificed himself for the Baron. His team will escape. Karmine Corp still looking for a bit more of a chase. But with the Baron empowered recalls, I think G2 will get 4 members out.
Looks like it. Good Baron from G2. Ultimately, they delayed it to allow Caps to be able to base, TP back in. He went for a bit of a trade, and that meant that KC had this window to be able to fight it. Unfortunately, they couldn't quite get into the pit. There wasn't an opportunity for them to try for that steal, and so they will be able to take a Constellation turret, but now with the Baron and Dragon spawning in about 20 seconds, they need to quickly regroup, reset.
Whether it's been Closer and Bloody together or Kana finding a good angle, but again, no follow-up. The lack of damage we've already seen is now just going to be accentuated by this.
Bloody hovering around still. Hasn't quite secured level 16. He's very close to that level up as Broken Blade being given time closer though with a nice angle.
Mickey jumps in. Glacial Prison onto Hans Summer. He cleanses away. Strangle Thorns, the Gnar for Mickey against the wall. Now he flashes. TP coming in. The Solar Flare only finds the slows as Kana now needs to try and retreat. He'll get some movement speed from going into Mini and gets away. G2 though still have a cannon minion to push down this tier 2 with.
All right, G2 get the objective they came for. 90 seconds until the Baron, so likely just reset here, spend whatever gold they found throughout this push. Kana might, I think, should actually
Yeah, that
get
would be
this
a nice little objective to get some gold back for the team at the very least. Baron in a minute's time, so resets need to come through for both teams.
Maybe they're just hiding around the corner. Broken Blade now steps forward. Caps was towards the bottom side. We only know that because Kana spotted him out with a Scryer's Bloom. Yike and Mickey looking forward. Upset has to pop the cleanse, the True Shot Barrage. Targamas tanks it with the Unbreakable. Glacial Fisher going down as well, but it's Mickey and Broken Blade on the front line. The face sealed onto the back line though is beautiful, but Vladdy just doesn't have the damage to follow up. And now G2 have split Karmine Corp into 2 separate groups. Yike is down. Mickey stepping forward. Hans Summer gonna put the damage down onto Targamas. Another Void Seeker from long range. Targamas should fall here. Closer trying to get away. Targamas puts the Winter's Bite onto Hans Summer, but still hard escape. 2 for 1 so far, the trade. Mickey coming in. Oh, to get away! Oh, Cap spots him! It was blind into the bush, but where else would he be backing? As Kana falls, and now G2 can turn their eyes towards the big purple worm.
Definitely an awkward fight, but ultimately one that is won by G2.
He could have flashed in if he still had it, but times out, upset, great little assassination onto Yike and a good escape from the backline, but at that point when there's no follow-up on all of the work Vladdy was putting down, just simply because G2 are so strong in the front line, fight falls apart.
Caps no flash, Yike no flash. TP behind as Karmine Corp looks to take the fight in the bottom side. Mickey tanking up the Elder for now, but does have that Warmogs. Targamas puts the Unbreakable down to stop the True Shot Barrage. The Baron buff empowering these minions for G2. The Void Seeker going wide there from Upset. Fate Sealed, Glacial Prison, still possibilities. Hansama has Cleanse and Flash and Featherstorm. He has everything he needs if he's the one caught out.
Vladdy.
3 plants go down. Vladdy looking for the flank. Puts Control Ward into the bush. But now the Elder down to 7,000. Can Closer get in? He's already down to half HP. He tries to dash in, but he can't land the smite. Yike gets this one. The Solar Flare goes down as Kana goes in, but the GA only buys him a second. It's 2 for Yike already. It's 3 for G2, and the chase continues. Make it 4 alongside the Elder, the Baron for the next 2 minutes.
G2 are just too far ahead, and again, Vladdy, honestly, good work. Onto the back line, great ultimate, great Q3. But there's just not enough follow-up from KC, and it's not their fault, it's just G2 defending their ground really aggressively, and now with the Elder, with the Baron, with the Soul, they're looking to close out this series 2-0.
Ultimately, a commanding game 2 from G2, rectifying the issues from game 1 and cementing their superiority over KC. They're looking to end it in a clean 2-0.
Targamas goes forward. The last brick in a lonely blue wall has fallen. G2 will clean up the series. Karmine Corp have hope, but they'll have to work their way through the lower bracket.
These were some of the best highlights from the upper bracket round 1 of the LEC Playoffs 2024 matchup between G2 and KC. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.